This is part one of refuting the Nicolaitan Trinity doctrine. Remember that the Messiah hates the doctrines of the Nicolaitans. Father willing, this series can help clear any confusion that the Counter-Reformationists and the Nicolaitans, through Rome, have put into the assemblies or the churches to purposely confuse and pervert the truth. The word Trinity is not found in the Bible. It did not find a place formally in the theology of the church till the 4th century, the Illustrated Bible Dictionary. And this lines up exactly with history and exactly with Revelation, specifically Revelation chapter 9. Revelation chapter 9 is speaking about two armies that are to come. The first army that was to come was Constantine's Byzantine army, which it is described as the locusts and scorpions. More on that in a later video. But this is exactly what history showed us, where Constantine was enforcing by the sword the Nicolaitan doctrines, specifically the Trinity doctrine, which came to be at the Edict of Thessalonica. More on this in a later video also. And this was part of the first woe spoken of in the book of Revelation. The Trinity and other Nicolaitan doctrines that were being enforced by the sword by Constantine's army changed the image of our Maker and our Mashiach, hence the first woe. Rome beat and flogged and made the Messiah, which is the truth, unrecognizable before he was crucified. And in the same way, Rome beat and flogged and made the truth, which is the scriptures, unrecognizable by all their edits and how they wanted to appease the pagans. In fact, Constantine hired, quote, correctors to change part of the scriptures and the messages to appease the pagans, therefore further changing the image of our Mashiach and our Maker. See more on this in chapter 1 of Gad the Seer. Neither the word Trinity nor the explicit doctrine as such appears in the New Testament, nor did Yahushua and his followers intend to contradict the Shema in the Old Testament. Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. Deuteronomy 6:4. The doctrine developed gradually over several centuries and through many controversies. By the end of the 4th century, the doctrine of the Trinity took substantially the form it has maintained ever since. The New Encyclopedia Britannica, Micropedia Volume 10, page 126 in 1976. Again, we see the 4th century, right? This is exactly when Constantine and his army were literally devouring and killing people by the sword if they did not adhere to the Nicolaitan doctrines, which is perversion of the truth. In Scripture, there is as yet no single term by which the three divine persons are denoted together. The word trias, of which the Latin trinitas is a translation, is first found in Theophilus of Antioch about AD 180, the Catholic Encyclopedia. More on Antioch soon, but this makes total sense as Antioch was a major player in the book of Revelation. Much significance occurred in that city. Neither the word Trinity nor the explicit doctrine appears in the New Testament, the New Encyclopedia Britannica. To Yahushua, the Messiah, and Paul, the doctrine of the Trinity was apparently unknown. They say nothing about it. Yale University professor E. Washburn Hopkins' Origin and Evolution of Religion. As early as the 8th century, the theologian St. John of Damascus frankly admitted what every modern critic scholar of the New Testament now realizes, that neither the doctrine of the Trinity nor that of the two natures of Yahushua HaMashiach is explicitly set out in Scripture. In fact, if you take the record as it is and avoid reading back into it the dogmatic definitions of a later age, you cannot find what is traditionally regarded as Orthodox Christianity in the Bible at all. Tom Harper, For Christ's Sake. A reminder that we cannot go outside of what is written. We can only go and base truth off what is written, based on the testimony of 2 or more witnesses. The Messiah never mentioned such a phenomenon, and nowhere in the New Testament does the word Trinity appear. The idea was only adopted by the church 300 years after the death of our Master. Historian author Weigel, The Paganism in Our Christianity. 300 years after the death of our Master, was very close to when Constantine was here. So this is exactly what Revelation chapter 9 is talking about. And it only became mainstream because they forced it by the sword. Therefore, generations come and go, and truth is then hidden from us. And this was prophesied in Daniel and 2nd Baruch, that the truth will be hidden in the fourth beast, which is Rome. The formulation, one Elohim in three persons, was not solidly established, certainly not fully assimilated into Christian life and its profession of faith prior to the end of the 4th century, aka Constantine and his Byzantine army. But it is precisely this formulation that has first claim to the title, the Trinitarian dogma. Among the Apostolic Fathers, there had been nothing even remotely approaching such a mentality or perspective. The New Catholic Encyclopedia, 1967, volume 14, page 299. Out of the belly of the beast, she speaks. Christianity derived from Judaism, and Judaism was strictly Unitarian, believing that Elohim is one person. The road which led from Jerusalem to Nicaea was scarcely a straight one. 4th century Trinitarianism did not reflect accurately early Christian teaching regarding the nature of Elohim. It was, on the contrary, a deviation from this teaching. The Encyclopedia Americana, 1956, volume 27, page 294 L. Christianity did not destroy paganism, it adopted it. From Egypt came the ideas of a divine trinity. And in the book Egyptian Religion, Siegfried Moretz notes the Trinity was a major preoccupation of Egyptian theologians. Three gods are combined and treated as a single being, addressed in the singular. In this way, the spiritual force of Egyptian religion shows a direct link with Christian theology. Historian Will Durant. If you want to know the origin of the Trinity doctrine, look into the Gospel of the Egyptians, the three Ogdoads, which also is mentioned in the book of Revelation when speaking of the three unclean spirits that comes out of the mouth of the false prophet. We also have the Trinity of the Philistines. Yahuwah, the Most High, is Kodesh, meaning he's set apart and does not want to be worshipped or revered in the ways that the pagans revere and worship their false mighty ones.